So today we're doing lesson 17. So number 1 says, use the three fractions to write two subtraction and two addition number sentences. Basically, we're just talking fact families here, right? And I already wrote these out. But 8 and 2 is 10, and 10 minus 2 is 8, and 2 and 8 is 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, so we're just doing the fact families with the two ways to add and the two ways to subtract. So you can double check that with what you got. Number 2, they want us to solve the subtraction problem with a number line. They drew the number line, and they want you to solve by both counting up and subtracting. And it looks like they're using a number sentence for the subtracting. So 1 is 4/4. 4/4 minus 3/4 is 1/4. And then they also did 3/4 counting back up with the 1/4, like that fact family thing. Gets us back to the 4/4. So I already drew the number line for this one. So we have 1 minus 8/10. So it does help to remember that 1 is also 10/10. Take away 8/10, and I'd get 2/10. And for the counting up, here's 2/10, and they want us to count up 8/10 plus 8/10, which gets us back to 10/10. Okay, C, 1 minus 3/5. So 5/5, of course, is the same as 1. Minus 3/5 equals 2/5. And there's 2/5 on the number line, and we're going to count up the 3/5. Here, I'll do single jumps this time. 1, 2, 3/5. D, so 1 is the same as 8/8, and we are subtracting 5/8, so we get 3/8. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and if we jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, we get to 8/8. This one, 1 and 2/10, so I know that 1 is 10/10, and then the 2/10 go together to make, sorry, let me write that so you can see it, 12/10. So we're saying 1 and 2/10 is 12/10, minus 7/10 equals 5/10. So we'll go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10, jump up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we do get to 12/10. And 12/10, of course, is the same as 1 and 2/10. They are the same spot on the number line. So 1 and 1/5. So the 5/5 here is 1, and 6/5 is the same as 1 and 1/5. So we're saying 6/5 minus 3/5 equals 3/5. And the counting up, we'd go to 1, 2, 3/5. And jump up 3, 1, 2, 3, and end up at 1 and 1/5, or 6/5. So 3/5 plus 3/5 is 6/5. Number 3, they want you to find the difference in two ways and use number bonds to decompose the total. Part A has been completed for you. So again, they're saying the 1 is 5/5. Here's the 1. And the 2 more fifths. And then they took it over here and added 5/5 plus 2/5 is 7/5. And then they did the subtraction. This 4/5 here is the same as this 4/5, and they have just converted the 1 and 2/5 to 7/5, and they got to 3/5. This other way they do it is a little more confusing. So basically, they took this 5/5, and they're still subtracting the 4/5, but notice they just totally left off the 2/5 for a minute. So they subtracted that, got a 5th, and then they had to put that 2/5 back in because they had forgotten about it or left it out earlier, and they came to 3/5 again. So either way, we got 3/5. So I already did the decomposing, 6, 6, and 3, 6. So 9 sixths, we're talking 9 sixths, the same as 1 and 3 sixths, minus 4 sixths would equal 5 sixths. And if we do it that other way they did it, we could take 6 sixths, the 1, subtract the 4 sixths, get 2 sixths. And then, of course, we have to put on the 3 sixths that we left off. Sorry. 3 sixths that we left off. And it's going to equal 5 sixths. So this kind of reminds me of some of the number talks we did where people were adding and subtracting in different orders, but still coming across the same thing. Okay, so I broke this apart and got us our improper fraction to max the mixed number. So 14 eighths is the same as 1 and 6 eighths. Taking away 7 eighths, and we get 7 eighths. And then that other way to do it was to do the 8 eighths minus 7 eighths equals 1 eighth, and then put the 1 eighth back with that 6 eighths that we left out. Still comes out to 7 eighths. And we are continuing with the same thing. Of course, I already took it apart. 11 tenths is the same as 1 and 1 tenth. So 11 tenths minus 7 tenths is 3 tenths. If we took the 1 and subtracted that 7 tenths, we'd get, whoops, I made a mistake back there. Hold on. 11 minus 7 is 4. And here we'd get 3 tenths. And then we'd put the 1 tenth back on and get 4 tenths. Last one, 15 twelfths. Remember to pause this. If you're not sure how I'm getting this improper fraction, go back and take a look there. Minus 6 twelfths equals 9 twelfths. And if we just did 12 twelfths minus 6 twelfths, we'd have 6 twelfths. We'd take that 6 twelfths and put the 3 twelfths back in there and end up with 9 twelfths. And I believe that is the end of lesson 17.